Good morning, CB family, and happy Easter to all those that celebrate it. Hope everyone's been surviving mentally during this quarantine time, and everyone's been staying afloat. I know it's taking a hit on some people, but I just want to give, my regards to again those that are on the front, on the front, protecting us during these difficult times. Today, I really wanted to discuss with you guys one of the biggest and most important pillars to marketing. And I think it's a good time to also kind of, focus a little bit more on the nitty gritty of things, since right now everyone's doubling down on their crafts. So I figured I'd kind of give away something that I've learned, and that's propelled me a lot. So one of the biggest keys to marketing, which I think we understand from a distance but don't really implement, is storytelling. So I learned this from an online mentor, and he basically was saying there's 3 levels to learning. The one level is, you acknowledge the fact that it's something you can learn, and you're aware of it. And the second is understanding, right? So that's the second layer of of comprehending a concept. So there's acknowledgement, then there's understanding. So you understand the systems and how it works. But then the third and the most important layer is instinctive, right? Because you can understand something, but it might not be a reflex to the point where you can integrate it immediately, right? So that's the same with storytelling. So for example, what I used to do at the start, and I'm still learning to do, but what I used to particularly do at the start was I'd know and I'd research like, as a marketer, you have to understand storytelling, blah, blah, blah. I'd maybe do it occasionally, but I wouldn't make it. It wasn't my instinctive prerogative. It wasn't my instinctive goal, right? So the reason why you must get really good at storytelling to the point where it becomes instinctive as a marketer particularly, or even in sales, is because if you can't tell your story, then they're only going to perceive you as someone who's trying to sell a product to them, or someone who's just doing it solely to create cash flow. But if you can actually communicate a storyline to how clientele boosters came about, or why, you ended up in the industry that you're in, and how, each and every incremental step led you to X and Y, and now you've created this product because you feel like, with this you can do this and Y, and by 2030 you think you can, revolutionize this. You need to be able to storytell, because stories are actually the thing that connects people. Ever since ancient times and, pre-BC times, and even if you look in various, religious precepts, or even various, poetry and all these different types of human expression throughout human history, the people that had massive influence were able to tell stories, right? So back to the 3 layers of learning. A lot of people that I've realized that kind of plateau really early in the marketing field, particularly again back to the young entrepreneurs, the ones that kind of plateau really early, is they kind of get to the second layer of learning. They understand that marketing is important, right? And they understand that storytelling is one of the keys to marketing, but they don't storytell, right? They're just promoting their product, promoting their service, but they don't really storytell, right? Like one thing, for example, whether you like this guy or not, Tai Lopez, for example, and even Gary Vee, what they do really well is, them not necessarily for what they sell, but for the stories that they actually tell you guys. And those stories that they tell you guys and the knowledge that they give out to you guys, that's the stuff that actually sells you to actually be intrigued to, okay, what do they actually sell? What do they buy? Right? So if you don't get good at selling, basically portraying your story, it's not that you won't, gain some success, but it's a lot more difficult to have a solid premise to scale from, right? Because if you're not assured of the reason why you're doing something, and you can't communicate to someone else why you're doing something, because there's going to be a point when someone that you're working with, and I've had this with me as well, and sometimes I didn't even know how to answer it initially, but they're going to ask, why are you doing this? Why should I trust you? And that's when you need to be able to instinctively know, this is when I need to tell my story. And it doesn't have to be super animated or, excessively charismatic, but it has to be real, and it has to be articulated correctly. Right? So, just a little piece of my mind. Because storytelling, man, and this isn't only just for marketing, but for so many different industries, if you know how to articulate and basically bring your story to life, man, the world becomes so much more fun, because you feel like your authenticity is almost allowed to have a place in the world. And as strange as that sounds, it's a really good feeling when you know that you can bring something inside of you into an external space that allows other people to connect with as well. So yeah, definitely, use the power of storytelling in your marketing, because I can guarantee you, if you have a solid premise based on storytelling and how your business came about, and how it all came to be 10 years from now, when everything's said and done, 100 years from now, or whenever, or even after this corona stuff, finishes, the things that they're going to remember the most is how you made them feel, not what you actually sold. So, focus on basically bringing your story across when creating a new venture. It makes the whole process a lot easier, and it also makes it a lot easier to sell, as well, and also just to help people. So, everyone stay safe, stay hydrated, stay well. Peace out. I'll see you guys soon. See ya.